Hey, what's up, guys? This is a couples review on Married at First Sight, season 11, episode 9.
Karen and Miles.
Oh, Lord. I had to say it because my better half was just so fed up with this, too.
There's a few. Because I just see so much potential in what they could be.
I don't know. I think maybe this boat is sailing away.
Okay, well, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. You're right.
So they were on the bed and the same question about love came up.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really remember what the answer was into how do you know you're in love, but Miles gets into this story about how growing up, he moved around from place to place. Then his parents got a divorce. Somehow he got into the fact that basically he started putting others before him, kind of just trying to make sure everybody else was okay. And his mother was like, you have to stop doing that. You got to, take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That made Karen say, see, that's what I don't want to happen in this relationship because I don't want you to get burned out.
Right. And, Karen is always, for this relationship, looking at the negative
Yes.
about everything as opposed to anything else. But, I think that was something that I said even earlier. I think that he's going to get burnt out, especially with Karen, because he's not getting that back.
Yeah, I think that's the only way he'll get burnt out is like if you keep, showing someone that you're interested and they're really not just showing you nothing, but kind of leaning more towards showing you that they're not interested. Yeah, you'll get burnt out. But I think it'll fuel you when you're getting that type of vibe back that someone is interested in you, then that's your fuel to reciprocate it.
However, I agree. However, I think if Miles is suffocating, then that could be a problem. I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship like this, but I've been in relationships where somebody's texting you all day long and, really doesn't kind of give you space.
But you think that's what Miles is doing?
If it is the interpretation that Karen has, is that this person is just too, I can't. There's no word for, that's the thing. But I can give you a definition for.
Okay, so what if it's not that he's texting and it's all of what we see? Imagine what we see him doing it on a regular basis, because I feel like that's what he does. I don't think that he's texting her all day. I don't think it's to that level.
I think that she doesn't want to be thought about all day like that. I think
Yeah.
she might feel like that's a lot of pressure on
Mhm.
her. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I really don't think that she likes Miles in any way. And every advancement that Miles has to her, it kind of just pushes her away.
Yeah, she gives this weird like side eye. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So he hires his friend who's a chef
Mm.
to cook for them.
Which I thought was a good idea. I really thought that was a good idea and fun and different.
Yeah,
And something for them to kind of do together to get a little bit closer.
I thought it was really sweet. I mean, I think she did too. Didn't she say something?
She always got that stank face.
Right. It's like she thought, yeah, I think she said she enjoyed it and she thought it was sweet, but I'm sure it was something else negative that came behind it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. It just wasn't enough for me to remember. I guess it didn't give me like, oh, that really, changed some things around.
She's so cold. And so, I
Yeah,
mean, and
she
she's not
is.
sweet. She doesn't look at anything positive. And I
Mhm.
think really is because she really just doesn't like the guy. And I think I'm actually feeling like they are in a worse position this episode than they were in last episode.
Definitely. We'll get to why in a second. So they go to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
They're shopping for dinner. And, even when Miles made when he picked up the onion and he was like,
onions have layers. Karen has layers.
Here we go. Here's a red onion. I have layers.
Yeah, you got layers.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. She doesn't give him any type of anything back. She's kind of so dull and bland with any type of funny comment or anything that he says. She kind of It's kind of monotoned.
Well, yeah, that's very true. But it's almost like when you're like a babysitter and you have a little kid that's always pulling on your clothes, like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want that. She doesn't want somebody always pulling on her coattail, asking for something. He really at this point needs to take a step back and just relax and kind of let her be attracted to how he maneuvers.
I guess I'm a different type of girl because I wouldn't mind that. But then also I like attention and I'm okay with attention because I think I deserve attention.
Yeah.
So because I think I deserve attention, when I get attention, I'm thinking, yeah, because that's what I deserve.
Right. But what if it's from a guy that you don't like?
I don't see Miles as being like he's not ugly. So I mean, I would have to actually see what that looks like.
So I hope you're saying that she's not even giving him a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else would I be saying?
That because he's handsome, I would give him a chance.
Lord. So
It's like, what?
No, well, nobody has
why
nothing
you
on
love
you,
me?
first off.
That's true.
For real. Okay, so but I'm just saying, like, we know when nothing's wrong with a person.
Of course. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm more or less joking.
Yeah. So while they're in the store, Karen just mentions again, because he says, I don't know, he mocks, the things that she says about, her needing more time, or, she's not used to certain things. And she just reiterates that she's not used to guys who express their feelings.
Like, I've never met a guy so, like, open.
With his feelings?
Yeah.
How'd it make you feel?
It throws me off.
Huh?
It's different. It's different for me.
Like, what kind of difference?
It's just different. It's
Yeah.
like, you know how you have something new?
Yeah.
And, like, you don't know how to, like...
Handle it
yet.
Yeah.
I do typically like a very masculine male. I'm not used to a guy being so, like, let me throw all my feelings at you. Like, is that something that I can get comfortable with? Like, will we be able to meet each other's expectations?
I mean, I just don't, maybe he's doing more than what we see, but I personally don't feel like he's overdoing it. I think he's doing regular stuff. I honestly do.
Yeah, this is normal stuff for, two people that like each other. But like you were saying earlier, maybe she's judging everything that he is doing based on her old relationship.
Exactly. Like anything that he does differently that's not like her ex, she doesn't like automatically because she still wants her ex. Maybe?
Right.
That's what you said. You said she still wants her ex.
I think she definitely wants her ex. And I think I'll break it down to you if y'all want to hear it.
Go ahead.
I think that because her ex, and he did when he had another baby, they broke up, but she still really wants him. But now he is with the woman that he had a baby with, and he is starting his own life. And so now she's alone, and they've been together for the last 4 years. So she's upset. So that's why she goes down here and does this show, because she wants to show him that she is also getting on with her life. However, she kind of still secretly loves him. So when he sees this show, he's going to see that she's moving on with her life, get a little bit jealous, but she's playing it safe. So that way he can never say that, well, you had or you did anything with Miles.
But she's doing it wrong, because not to say she should do this. You shouldn't go on Married at First Sight to play games. But if she really wanted to make her ex jealous, she should at least pretend like this guy is what she wants. Because honestly, to me, she's making her ex look at that like, yeah, you
Ain't
not
nobody
happy.
better
Ain't nobody
than me.
Exactly.
Ain't
I'm like,
nobody
you're
better
doing
than
the
me.
wrong thing, if
Okay.
anything. You know what I'm saying?
I think you might be right, but she's probably playing it wrong. However, I don't know. You're right. Miles isn't doing anything wrong per se.
No, not
per se.
Not to the extent of how she's acting. She's acting like he's doing something different. Not to say that what he's doing isn't annoying, even though I don't see it as annoying. Not to say that it's not to her, but I think it's like she's shooting guns and he's just poking her with a toothpick.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree, but I will say, and I can see a little bit of Karen. I play devil's advocate on this, because if let's imagine, right? Every time Karen gets up and maybe she, walks into the room, Karen walks into the room. Miles gets up and he's like, "You okay? You want me to do anything for you? You want me to do something for you?" And always kind of just like in her space and wanting some sort of attention and not giving her any of her own space because he's always just kind of looking to cater to somebody, always looking to cater to somebody. And sometimes, and I know what this feels like, it's just like, can you just slide off me a little bit so I can just chill out?
You felt that way before?
Not with you,
No, I know that was
but in
me,
general,
but yeah.
yeah. Just you gotta
And
like
so what do you
peel them
how
off
have
with a
you
spatula.
how have how have you handled that? So tell a story about like what do you do?
It's kind of more or less in your mind. Sometimes you might say something, but you really do. I mean, your body language really shows that, and I feel like that's the body language that Karen is showing.
So you've been in a situation to where you felt like somebody was your every move, like just like on you, like Miles possibly is with Karen. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely. In my previous lives, yes.
Even like in a setting where you're just chilling. How did you act in that moment, if you could remember?
Probably slightly annoyed, body
For real?
language wise. Yeah, I
What,
mean,
your shoulder was
when
turned?
you turn your back to somebody, and you're not paying much attention.
Dang.
You're doing,
that's cold.
trying to change the subject. You're not really engaging because
That's
you
when
can have a
don't like-
conversation.
This is what Karen does.
She doesn't engage in conversations. She's really cold. She doesn't really like to make eye contact. She is just, I don't want to use the word disgusted, but she is very annoyed. And you can, and when you get this way, you get annoyed at people's voices.
Like he's the cornball at school that keeps trying to get with her.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that person speak another word.
Dang.
That's how tired you get of it. I don't want to hear hello. I don't want to hear I love you. I don't want to hear goodbye. In fact, I'd be okay with goodbye.
She's almost there. I can see that because anything he says that's a little flirtatious, she gets annoyed by. But I just don't. I mean, unless we're not seeing how irritating he really is, what we've seen, I don't think is enough for her to really be annoyed by, which to me makes me agree with you. Like maybe she just doesn't like him. But they come home from the grocery store and he jokes around and says basically like that was a good date or whatever. And she takes him seriously, of course, and like that is not a date. And I felt like I knew he was playing, and I told you that, but you were like, well, maybe he thinks that's a date. But then he proves that he knows what a date is because, and he was like, okay, fun dates, like blah, 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 which led him into what do you like? Like, let's talk about intimacy. Like, do you like kissing, hugging? And
well, I think that she was saying that it's not a date because she didn't want him to think that that counts as a date when you're really courting somebody, when you're really in with somebody and you really, you want to be with somebody, then you take them out on dates and you go out to movies or you're out to eat and you really get a chance to know each other. And yeah, I do understand that they just went to the grocery store. But that in Karen's mind, it wasn't like, okay, you're doing something to show me that you care. You're doing something so that we can create fun memories. And she didn't want him to think that because later on in the relationship, when they're arguing, if she had just said, yeah, that was a date, then if she ever says, you don't ever take me out, and he's gonna be like, well, we went to the grocery store on Tuesday.
Well, but now we know that he wouldn't say that because we understand it was a joke. And also, I think the reason why, for me, she could have been a little bit lighter. She could have still said that wasn't a date, but was a little bit light about it. There's something in her energy that's so heavy because you could still say that's not no date and still be smiling and or being cute about it. She's very heavy.
She's actually never smiled out of joy, in my opinion.
She smiled out of like sarcasm.
Sarcasm is always that.
Yeah.
When you squint your eyes.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh, that is how she.
I wish y'all could see me, but yeah.
Oh, you're doing it exactly how she does it. That is so funny.
It's just like cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Not pure joy.
He asked her, let's talk about intimacy. Do you like kissing or blah, blah? I know you don't like to talk about this. And she says, what makes you think I don't like to talk about that? And he says, because every time we try to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it. She says, no, that's not true. And then he's like, okay, well, basically, we're here now. We're talking about it. So what do you like? Then she says, we're not there yet. I just was annoyed by that because I'm like, you should have said that to begin with. You don't like talking about it. He was right.
Well, no, and I think that he was right. She doesn't like talking about it. However, I think that Miles needs to take a step back a little bit and not be so worried about physical intimacy or sex, because it's not about the sex. And I think that if you rush into that and you create, these soul ties and you get, really intertwined with somebody, that's a lot. And if you've been in any relationships and understand the power of that, then she's smart to want to hold that back. And Miles needs to say, you know what? I really want to get to know you better, and I really want to actually like you, and I want you to actually like me before we actually, even get involved with sex. So there should be no, even conversation about that. It should be more conversation on, do you really like me? How are we doing? Can you see yourself with me?
No, but they're 3 weeks in and he said kissing and hugging.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say sex. He was talking about kissing and hugging. Do you like kissing? Do you like hugging? Because he explained what he meant by intimacy. Because he was like, let's talk about intimacy. I mean, like, do you like kissing? Do you like hugging? They're 3 weeks in and he doesn't know whether she likes kissing. And just because you talk about intimate things doesn't mean you're going to have or expected to have sex that day. I think it's normal to talk about intimate things about what you like. I don't think that was a weird conversation and he didn't mean sex.
Well, yeah,
at first.
I agree with you. I mean, if they like each other, but I got to look at this like
what it is.
And Karen doesn't like him.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so even having that conversation is going to disgust her.
So she basically said, they're not there yet to talk about that. And he's like, what do you mean? We are here. Like, we're here right now. And she was meaning like literally like, we're not to the point to where we're even ready to be intimate. So why talk about anything regarding intimacy? And what he was saying, I feel, is we're here in a sense of like, we're married. So we're already in a place to where it's okay for us to talk about whether or not we like kissing or hugging or something. I think even if she said, I like, kissing or blah, blah, blah. I like, uh, you know, she could say little things that she likes and then end it with, when it gets to that point, but right now, blah, 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 blah. Show some participation. You could still say it's not that time or, when I'm ready. You could talk about what you like when you are to that point.
Yeah, but Miles got to be, really, and it's hard because I want to say Miles has to do something, but I don't think that there's anything Miles can do.
She didn't even mention how he brought a chef for her.
Oh, no, she didn't. She looks at the negative.
You know what? He brought the chef over before the bed scene. And in the bed scene, when how we started in the bed scene, when they were talking about love, she only said the negative about him giving too much.
Nothing positive.
But before that, we had already seen the scene of the chef coming to cook for them.
Right. So she didn't appreciate that in any way. At least from what we saw.
I wonder if her ex had a chef come to the house to cook for them.
No, of course not. Of course not.
I don't know. I'm just...
Of course not.
I mean, I don't know.
I really want to like this couple. I really want to see them open up and really begin to mesh.
I think Miles should just stop doing stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
No. He should literally stop everything and give her space. Give her space when she walk into the room. Say, hey, Don't get up and go over there and be like, oh, you want me to fix you some toast? Want some coffee? Want me to put butter on it? No, just sit back, watch TV, chill out, do whatever you do, and let her do her thing. I think and then you see how she comes to you to realize if this is even something that you want, because you don't want to be in a relationship for the next 50, 60, 70 years, possibly, hopefully, and then you're always running after her and she's always
I'll
looking
just
at you with
say
a side eye.
though, guys, don't think all women are like this. Don't be like, I gotta be this certain type of way so she could come at me, because not every woman is like that. Not every woman needs like a guy to play like, he's super, like he doesn't want to do anything and he doesn't do anything, or like kind of like how they say nice guys finish last. Like that's not always true. I think
No,
some women you have to be that way about, but you have to know the type of woman that you're courting to know if that's how you should be. Because I'm not attracted to guys who play that role, because I will instantly not like you. You don't like me, I don't like you.
absolutely no.
But some girls, they feel like, oh, that makes me want you more. But to me, that really makes me want you way less, because I'm not a chaser. I'm not a man. I don't want to be the aggressor. So if I feel that I have to be the aggressor, I just don't like you. And
no,
I'd rather it be the other way around.
no. I agree with what you're saying. I think that um, the reason why I think Miles needs to back up, and why in general, because Karen doesn't like Miles, and so men need for that person to like them as well. When
Mm-hmm.
that happens, then that emotion goes well. When somebody doesn't like you like that, then that plays against you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He does make a silly joke about marking on the calendar when they were going to have sex, and she felt extremely disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
She even said that him doing that um changed basically their relationship. She doesn't know if they could come back from that. And even in the previews, she told him that she felt unsafe.
Listen here. If somebody told me that they felt unsafe because I wrote we were going to have sex on a calendar,
Now that was a
in
stupid
in a
joke,
joking way,
but it wasn't that serious to
let me tell you.
me.
Let me tell you. If you feel unsafe, then I'm not even going to look in your direction no more.
Coming from the same person who said, I mean, it's not like if you kiss me, I'm going to call the police or something.
That's
And
it for
then
me.
he
That's it.
does something less aggressive by writing something on the calendar and you feel unsafe. How am I to know that if I come and actually physically kiss you, that you're not gonna like that? To me didn't match. And it makes me feel like she's just thinking of reasons to not make it work. And it's unfortunate for Miles, because I do believe that even if Miles is too attentive, there's more women who would like that, and who would apply for married at first sight and like that, versus men who would apply for married at first sight and
be
like
like that.
Karen.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? You get how
Absolutely.
I'm saying it? Like more people would enjoy being with Miles versus the guys who would enjoy being with Karen. If this is how she is, she may be different with someone else, but I'm only judging them based off of what I see.
No, absolutely. No,
I personally rather have someone who cares too much than not at all.
and it really just boils down to just Karen not liking him. And I think
Yeah.
that's really what it is. And so I actually think now that they're in like I said, a very worse position than they were before, and
Yep.
it's less likely that I think that they're going to want to stay together.
Yep.
And I
I
think
do know some spoilers, which I won't give, but I will say that I'll say this without even saying what I think I know has already happened. If Karen decides that she is saying no, she's going to regret it. If she decides that she is saying yes, I think she will not regret staying, especially what's to come with the coronavirus, especially what's to come with, the pandemic. You want someone who cares during this time, especially. You don't want anybody who's going to play that role like, I'm going to just sit here and I don't really care about you. And I'm going to, be a bad boy that you like.
Yeah.
This is not the time for that.
I just hope that she doesn't grow resentful for being with him out of circumstance. But I do hope it's similar to the relationship with like Jamie Lee Curtis from the last episode or whatever her name was.
Wait, Jamie Lee Curtis, isn't that an actress?
Yeah, but her name was something Jamie. What's this girl name? She's the host as well. What's the host name?
The host of the show.
Not this show.
Jamie.
She always wears the blue dress.
The Unfiltered.
Yeah, what's her name?
Jamie.
Jamie. Okay, and so I really hope.
Or is it Danielle? I think it's Jamie.
Okay, so I really hope that this relationship is, like Jamie, how she really didn't like her husband at first, but then it grew to be a good relationship.
You know what?
Maybe
I feel like I almost feel, just because I know the difference of being with someone who's like what she's saying she wants versus someone who does express their feelings like you. Not saying you're like Miles, because you're way better, of course, and you do it in a much cooler way, in a much smoother way, in a much more attractive way, but still the outline of the differences, I know the difference. And I almost feel like for Miles's sake, because he wants this to work, I hope it works. A little part of me feels like I wish he had someone that deserves it more and that has had enough of having the latter and could really appreciate who he is. Because once you've had enough of a guy not caring, you would really appreciate Miles more. And I don't think Karen has had enough of it. Because when you've really had enough and you are tired of being done wrong, Miles would be, even though he could be annoying to some, but if you're coming from being really treated bad, she's just not tired yet. That's how I think of it. And I'm saying this from experience.
Yeah. I think that you're right. And I think that if they do, split, that I hope that Miles does grow up a little bit. He's definitely a little bit young to me.
I think he's good for someone who's around his age.
Or a little younger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because Karen's a little older and she's probably dealt with a little older guys. But she doesn't act older. No, but she's probably also dealing with older guys too, possibly.
I think she probably deals with guys around her same age.
You think so?
Yep.
I don't know. However,
because I think older guys would also not. She says that she's not used to men expressing their feelings. And I don't necessarily see, if she's dated older guys, her never experiencing a man expressing their feelings.
I think she's just saying it. The way that Miles does it is, a little bit ingenue. And so.
Come on, word. The word of the episode is
ingenue.
All right, guys.
Anyway.
So that was Miles and Karen. I don't know. Oh, well, we already know next episode she's going to feel unsafe, which, I mean, that just really blew me. I was really disappointed that she played him like that.
Yeah.
That she really played him.
That's a sign right there. When a woman says that means you need to just stop. Pull it all back.
I think
pull it all back.
Not Miles doing that made the relationship hard to come back from. Her saying that is what, because, I mean, how can you go back to intimacy or ever being intimate? I'm sure Miles can, because he's nice and he's probably going to forgive her. I'm sure he will, because he's so nice.
Hopefully he pulls back and then he's like, you know what? If that's how you feel, then I'm going to just do me.
Oh my gosh. This point. I cannot wait for the next episode. I cannot wait to see how he reacts to her saying that.
Yeah. Because he's I'm either going to like him or I'm not going to like him at all. based on
Oh,
how he
based off
react.
of.
Based on how he reacts.
So
Either
if
I'm
he
going to be
react,
like,
which way can he react to where you won't like him?
if he acts as if he was the problem, if he, if he.
So if he be like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
No, I think that he needs to apologize. I'm not saying that, we need to stick our ground and not, come to some amends. However, if he doesn't understand the ramifications of somebody saying something like that and make them understand that they can't say those kind of things to you, then that's going to be a problem.
Something tells me that might happen.
Yeah, no, he needs to make sure that she knows that if that's how you feel, then I don't need you.
Something tells me that he's
Don't
not
need
gonna.
you.
Something tells me he's not gonna say that.
That's what he needs to do. And if that's the case, then he ain't worthy of this relationship either,
But I
because
hope he
that's
does.
what she doesn't like.
I hope he does. I hope he does, because and then it'll start to look as if he's a doormat, and I'll feel even more sorry for him, because you feel sorry for the underdog or the weaker link. I mean, that's just what it is to me. But either way, that was Karen and Miles. We'll see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. This was a couples review. Make sure you like,
Comment,
and subscribe.
Remember, just because you can't see our face doesn't
Don't
mean we're
we
not
ain't
keeping it real.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.